Hi, my name is Calvin Bergstaller. I work at Edo Bike Co. in Houston, Texas, and I'm an avid bike packer. I'm here to talk to you about bike packing. What is bike packing? Simply put, bike packing is traveling by bike. It's a great way to see the countryside and to visit new or familiar places at a pace that encourages one to experience the stuff between the starting and ending points. One of my favorite things about bike packing is being outside all day. A bike packing trip typically includes at least one night of sleeping away from home, so cyclists typically carry provisions such as camping gear, food, and extra water on their bike. Most bike packers choose to camp out at night because it allows riders to travel to more remote destinations. However, sometimes it's more agreeable to get a hotel room while out traveling by bike. This could be a decision to avoid unplanned bad weather or to appreciate the modern comforts. Either way, as long as you're having a good time, there's no incorrect way to bike pack. Another one of my favorite things about bike packing is that you have the perfect excuse to eat all the delicious food you want while riding. Since you're pedaling your bike all day for at least a couple of days, with the extra weight of gear lashed to your bike, you need to eat lots of high-calorie foods to maintain energy. Okay, so how do you bike pack? First, you'll want to figure out where to go. With a starting point and a destination in mind, you can figure out where you'll find food and water and where you'll sleep along the way. A great way to start out is with an overnighter, which is 2 days and 1 night in between. That follows paved roads which have little to no traffic and big shoulders in an area you are already at least a little familiar with. If possible, it's easiest to attempt a bike packing route that has already been established. Ask us at the bike shop and check the resources on our website, or search around on the interwebs for bike packing routes. Maybe there's a Facebook group of bike packers in your area. They'll probably share some good route ideas if you ask them. While riding your route, you will need some resources for navigation. I typically use my phone. There are loads of great navigation apps available, such as Google Maps and Gaia GPS. These resources are also very useful for planning your route. Regardless of which app you might choose to use for navigation, it's important to make sure your navigation app is capable of being used offline for 2 main reasons. First, you won't always have service when you're out in the countryside. And second, putting your phone in airplane mode is an effective way to ensure its battery will last much longer. Speaking of battery life, it's a good idea to bring a power bank to keep your phone and other electronics charged while out traveling. You can also use a navigation dedicated device, such as a Garmin computer, or you can use an old-fashioned yet very reliable paper map. Either way, be sure to familiarize yourself with your navigation tools before setting out. When choosing or planning a route, make sure to take note of any challenges you might face along that route. Some important considerations are the typical weather you might encounter on the route, the surfaces you will ride along the route, the amount of food and water resources along the route and where they are located, and camping and lodging options along the route. Keep in mind that your bike will be loaded down with gear, so it will take more time and energy to ride a given distance than if your bike were not loaded down. I just mentioned weather. It's a good idea to be ready for bad weather, even if it isn't in the forecast. It never hurts to have a little extra clothing in case the weather goes south, way south. All of these considerations inform what you'll need to bring on your bikepacking trip. When you know how much food and water you'll need to carry and what weather you might encounter along the route, you can gather your stuff and see how it packs onto your bike. Don't forget to bring a flat repair kit and a multi-tool. Also, never leave home without letting a friend or a family member know about your plans. Bring some Band-Aids too. Stay tuned for the next 2 videos where I will explain how to plan a route in more detail and how to pack up your bike in more detail.